All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going on a journey. It's a trip you probably take almost every single day, but never really think about. We're going to follow one single click, that simple Buy Now button, and uncover the absolutely incredible technological odyssey that it triggers in like milliseconds. I promise you will never look at online shopping the same way again.
You know, it feels instantaneous, right? 1 second, you're looking at something online. The next, you get that email, "Thanks for your order." But behind that super seamless experience is a lightning-fast trip across a global network. So what is really happening in those moments?
So our journey, it doesn't start out there in the cloud or in some far-off data center. Nope. It starts right where you are, with your device on your very own local network.
Yeah, it all begins in your digital home base, the local area network, or what we call a LAN. Just think of it as this private nervous system that connects all of your devices, your laptop, your phone, your smart TV, before your click ever even steps out into the wider world. This is gate number 1.
And here you can really get a sense of the incredible jump in scale. We go from the LAN right there in your home to maybe a MAN, a metropolitan area network that could cover your whole city, and then finally to the WAN, the wide area network. And of course, the most famous WAN is the internet itself, the global network that connects, well, everything.
So how do you actually get from your small private LAN to that massive public WAN? Well, that's where your internet service provider, your ISP, comes in. Think of them as the on-ramp to the global information superhighway. They're the ones who provide the connection that makes this entire journey possible.
Okay, so our click is on the highway. But here's the thing. It's a highway with billions and billions of other cars. How in the world does our tiny little packet of data know where to go? Well, it follows a very, very strict set of rules.
And this right here is the digital postal service that makes the entire internet work, TCP/IP. It's best to think of it as a team. You've got IP, the Internet Protocol, which is the address expert. It finds the exact numerical destination for your click. Then its partner, TCP, acts like the master packer and shipper. It chops your request into these tiny packets, sends them all out across the web, and then flawlessly reassembles them on the other end. It is an incredible feat of coordination, and it all happens in the blink of an eye.
And this brings us to a fundamental truth about the internet. You see, we think in words. We think in names we can remember. But the network itself, it only speaks one language: numbers. For computers, the only thing that actually has meaning is that unique IP address.
Okay, so that leads to a really important question, right? If computers only get numbers, how does typing example.com into your browser even work? How does that get translated?
The answer is the internet's own universal address book, the domain name system, or DNS. The moment you type in a website, your computer sends out a query to a DNS server, basically asking, "Hey, what's the number for this name?" That server finds the matching IP address and sends it right back. And it's only when your computer has that numerical address in hand that it can finally make the connection.
And just like that, our data packet has arrived. It's navigated the entire global web, and it has reached the digital doorstep of the e-commerce site. So, what's going on inside? Well, pretty much every e-commerce site you've ever visited uses what's called a client/server model. It's actually pretty simple. Your browser is the client making a request, kind of like a customer at a restaurant. And the website's powerful computer is the server, working in the kitchen to find exactly what you asked for and serve it right back to you. This centralized system is perfect for managing millions of these requests securely and efficiently.
But, you know, when we say server these days, we're not talking about some single machine humming away in an office closet anymore. Today, that powerful computer is part of a massive distributed network that we all call the cloud.
And this is the whole idea behind cloud computing. And it has fundamentally changed the game. I mean, it marks a huge shift from owning your own hardware to renting it. So instead of businesses having to buy and maintain rooms full of expensive servers, they can now access almost infinite computing power on demand from providers like Google, Amazon, or Microsoft.
A good way to think about it is like making a pizza. You've got IaaS, or infrastructure as a service. That's like renting the oven and the kitchen space, just the basic hardware. Then you've got PaaS, Platform as a Service. That gives you the dough, the sauce, and the cheese, all the tools for developers to build on. And finally, there's SaaS, Software as a Service. And that's the finished pizza, delivered right to your door. The apps we use every day, like Google Docs or Shopify.
So that's the incredible journey that our click takes today. But you know what? That journey is constantly getting shorter and faster and a whole lot smarter. So let's take a look at the technologies that are redefining what a click can even do.
To really understand the future, we have to see how far we've come. We started with Web 1.0, which was basically a static read-only library. Then came Web 2.0, where we all became creators on social media. Right now we're in Web 3.0, where AI helps the web actually execute tasks for us. And just on the horizon is Web 4.0, a symbiotic web, where the lines between human and machine intelligence really start to dissolve.
And what is the single biggest driver of this whole evolution? It's that little device in your pocket. Our demand for constant mobile connectivity has reshaped everything. I mean, how much? A staggering 85% of us now use mobile devices for daily activities, and that includes shopping. That one behavior has forced this entire system to get smarter and faster.
Powering this massive shift are three key technologies. You've got RFID, which is revolutionizing supply chains. You've got NFC, which lets us do all that tap-to-pay stuff we use constantly. And then you have the real game changer, AIoT, which is the fusion of artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things. And this is a massive leap forward. With AIoT, our devices are no longer just passive sensors that are collecting data for us to look at later. No, they're becoming active players in the system. They're able to learn, to analyze, and to make smart decisions all on their own. So your thermostat isn't just reporting the temperature anymore, it's learning your schedule. And this is already changing commerce as we speak. We see it in smart retail stores that can optimize their layouts based on real-time foot traffic. We see it in supply chains that can track a single package from the factory floor all the way to your door. We definitely see it in those personalized recommendations you get online and in the automated warehouses that are fulfilling your orders.
Which, of course, brings us all the way back to where we started. The journey of that one click is already this incredible fusion of global networks, cloud computing, and intelligent protocols. But as our world gets smarter and more connected, it leaves us with a really fascinating question. We've seen the incredible journey of today's click, but what will your next click unlock?